Well, Tris and Four's relationship is really based around mutual respect. And that doesn't mean that they don't have conflict. And that's something that comes up a little more in Insurgent. So this is not a perfect relationship. They have different goals and different ways of achieving them, but they are also there for each other in the midst of a lot of emotional strife and change. So their relationship is really a kind of backbone for the series in a lot of ways, because they both drive the plot kind of equally, especially in later installments. I think I'm always most excited to see the simulations visualized because they're so hard to picture, and because I have a fascination with kind of dreamscapes or like nightmare landscape kind of things, which is why I wrote about them. So just how surreal they are and how strange they are is something that's always really appealing to me. But also, I think just a crumbling Chicago is fascinating to me, since it's such a clean, put together city. Watching it fall apart is interesting. I mean, I can say this because it's like my home. But I really loved Janine's laboratory. So I forget what it's called, but there's a kind of fear that some people have of like clusters of holes together. So Janine's laboratory has all these glass tubes coming out of the walls, like a lot of, and there's something just like really creepy about that detail. And I like to lean into the creepy, so that was one of my favorites, I think. But they were all, I mean, the factionless set was also amazing, since every single little cube in it was different and individual and told a different story. And I don't know, it's hard to pick a favorite with this movie. Well, it's just really exciting that they want to be involved, I think. I mean, I've seen Octavia and Naomi in amazing roles before, and so I have a lot of confidence in their ability to bring the characters to life, and of course they did. So that was great. But I don't know. I mean, I think so much of the success or failure of a story told in movie form depends on how well the actors can do in capturing characters and giving them depth and complexity. So I think we're very fortunate to have a cast like this. It's such a strong cast. Well, I didn't imagine that they would ever be on screen, because that's just, kind of, it was outside of my, even my like imagination that this might happen. But writing action sequences is one of my favorite things. So I remember thinking about Insurgent that maybe it was a little too relentless when I was writing it, so tried to add some quieter moments in. So it makes sense that it would be action-packed on screen, I guess, since I was like, okay, you gotta have at least one scene where people rest, because otherwise this is just losing all believability. I think the scenes that will be most appealing in the 3D sense will probably be the simulations, because I think they're kind of designed with that, specifically with like being visually compelling in mind. Not that like every shot isn't, but I think those will probably be the most impactful, I guess, in the 3D setting. Okay. I think I'm most excited for audiences to see our characters change and develop like over time. So, in the first movie, it's very much about like a young woman, deciding on a path and kind of like, la-da-da, let's see how this goes. And in this one, it's just her dealing with, what she's done and what she's become and the changing relationships around her. And so more than, the action, which is clearly going to be exciting and people are going to love, I think, seeing these characters have a real relationships with each other and real struggles within themselves, it makes the movie more compelling than, anyone can just like watch a nonstop action. But I think what makes a movie really resonate with people is the deeper stuff in addition to the action. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey